Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 6. We are getting closer and closer to boiling point. I can feel it. And today's episode was definitely one of the stronger of the 6 episodes we've had so far. Maybe the second best one we've had. This episode did feel pretty rapid because it was around 40 minutes long and it was constantly sort of cutting between different characters. Pretty much all of them, apart from Gus because he was directing today's episode and he did a great job too. And this made it pretty thrilling because everyone's plot lines are getting more and more interesting. They're getting closer to their explosive conclusion, whatever that's going to be for each of the plot lines, but it is getting closer, so it's actually fun seeing all these different characters go through what they're going through. Howard is continuing to go after Saul. You know, he's got a PI following him around, seeing what he's up to. There's not much for Howard to work with apart from the fact that Saul was collecting some cash. On the other side of things, you got Mike. He's still trying to keep an eye out for Lalo, and he's a bit paranoid himself that Lalo may be going after his family, which is very unlikely, but you know, you can see the paranoia there. Everyone's a bit paranoid about Lalo. And talking of Lalo, there was a great scene with him today. It was his only scene really, his only little segment in the episode where he does track down one of the former workers that was working on the lab. Whilst it seems like the worker does have the upper hand on Lalo to start with, it soon isn't the case because Lalo gets what Lalo wants. He is a smart man and it seems like he's going to be able to get some information out of him. I'm sure he will, which will probably result in his return next week to America, to New Mexico, to cause some havoc. I do love how dedicated Lalo is though to taking down Gus. I love how none of the top cartel men even know he's alive. It just makes his return all the more exciting, and I do think we will see that return next week. I feel like it's got to. I feel like that's what's going to happen because it is the mid-season finale, so they've got to do something pretty, exciting for next week. The main thing today though was of course Saul and Kim. They are getting very close to their final step in their plan to tear down Howard, and they are pretty close. Of course, we saw last week they had this whole plot involved with the judge, although we don't know what that plot is. I'm not sure what this could mean, honestly. Along with Jimmy getting his pupils dilated, I'm not sure what the last piece of the puzzle here is. I'm curious to see how it's going to unfold, but really, I've got no guesses. I don't know what they're planning regarding this judge. It really could be anything. And alongside this, we're seeing Saul's office. It's developed quite nicely, but it is not looking like the office from Breaking Bad. It's too nice at the moment, and it's not flashy enough in a sense. And Francesca obviously is not liking it because of the way Jimmy's customers are treating it. Not Jimmy, Saul. It's so hard to get used to that, knowing him as Jimmy in this show, but yeah. Saul's customers are treating it like a shithole. And it's no wonder by the time Breaking Bad comes around, 1, that she's bitter, and 2, that she has herself behind a glass window because she doesn't want to be near any of those people. And even by the way, like Saul kind of treats her here, he kind of treats her like a bit of an idiot. And you can tell that's going to turn her bitter as well, on top of the fact that she's just dealing with scumbags. On Kim's side of things, she's been offered a very good job opportunity from Cliff Maine, something that would actually be good for her. But as we saw at the start of the episode when she's a child, being rebellious is always more appealing to her, even though she understands that she should be good. She should be a legal citizen, she should do the right thing. The fact that there's always something else, that rebel option, that seems to be what pulls her in. That seems to be what attracts her more. It's like the thrill of that is always going to pull her away from the good thing that she may already have. But as we see at the end of the episode, the whole plan has gone pear-shaped because of the fact that the judge in real life has a broken arm. And what they're trying to do, even though I'm not sure what the point of it is they're trying to get photos involving Saul and involving this judge doing some sort of exchange. Maybe that's to do with the money that Howard's PI saw Jimmy getting earlier. Maybe that's the point. He's meant to look like he's doing like a trade with this judge in a sense to make the judge look dodgy. But the problem is Saul has seen the judge in real life and he has a broken arm. So that means the photos would not be reliable in that sense. And, he says this to Kim on the phone because she's on the way to this great job opportunity which she's going to try and get. And Kim is not interested in, leaving it for another day. She turns the whole car around, she throws that option away to pursue this rebellious option, and that was like her choice. It seems like that's the pivotal moment for her character in a sense. It's all been leading up to this point. She's finally got an amazing job opportunity where she'll be helping people that she wants to help and it'd be legal, or she can go and tear down her former boss and do something illegal. and do something rebellious. And she opts for that. And I think that's a huge moment for her character. Today's episode was definitely a stronger episode, and this is all being set up pretty much. All 6 of these episodes are pretty much being set up, and what it's set up for is what we're getting next week, it feels like. And I hope they do something really crazy, so that when we return for the final, I think it'd be 6 episodes, we could be in for something, just an absolute roller coaster. That's the hope. But next week should be very, very strong. I hope it's longer as well. I hope it's like an hour long, because these 40-minute episodes, 45 minutes, are killing me. They fly by like that, especially when you wait all week for it. So fingers crossed for next week. I would give today's episode though an 8.5. Definitely a stronger one. Definitely more exciting than some of the other ones have been. But so far, the show has been very solid, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode. If you've seen it, let me know what you think about it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.